You guys really seem to like the best smartphone under 15K series. So we thought, let's do a best smartphone under 20K. And we are rating them in tier today, which makes it super interesting. And this best smartphone series we recommend at TechWiser makes your life easy. And if it does, you know what to do. Subscribe to Stay Wiser. This is Prateek. You are already watching TechWiser. And in this video, we'll cover iQOO Z3, OnePlus Nord CE, Redmi Note 10 Pro Max, Poco X3 Pro, Mi 11 Lite, and the new Moto Edge 20 Fusion. Since there are so many smartphone releases these days, smartphones often get replaced by other companies or in fact by their own products. So we have the GOAT tier, greatest of all time, is something we believe will actually last for 1 year or at least 6 months. They won't be replaced because I also have future information. And if you buy the GOAT tier phone, you're sure that it is the best out there for a long time. Next is very solid, which means the phone is very good in most areas but average in some of the areas. So if you are the right audience, very solid is the best phone for you. Then we have did the job, which means the phone is good for one purpose and pretty average in everything else. So if one good thing is your need, like gaming or selfie phone, this is the tier you should aim for. Then we have our favorite, you know it, I know it segment, which is meh, nothing new, quite expected. And before we get to the video, make your tier in the comments below. I'll tell you my choices at the end of the video, and if our choices match, you get a heart in return and my love. I love you, Team TechWiser. Let's get to the phones. First up, we have newly launched Mi 11 Lite. This phone was really hype and Xiaomi sold almost 1 lakh units within the first week of launch. Great. Looks like people don't even wait for reviews before buying a phone. Are you those people? Anyways, so if we talk about pros, the Mi 11 Lite has the same Snapdragon 732G processor as Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. It's a good, stable, optimized processor, so it's a pro in my book. Second, the main talking point is the Mi 11 Lite is the slimmest phone in this segment at 6.8 mm. To give you an idea, other phones in this segment are around 8-9 mm. So one-handed usage and form factor is one of its pros. Then third, the biggest pro of this phone is the display. It's the first 10-bit display in this segment until something. Now, if you don't know, a 10-bit display can display 64 times more colors than an 8-bit display. But how does that matter to you? Well, if you watch only YouTube videos, you won't know the difference because not many people shoot in 10-bit. Heck, even we shoot in 8-bit. But if you watch Netflix or Amazon Prime, the difference can be clearly seen. And camera is one of the most underrated thing about the Mi 11 Lite. That goes in pros as well. Now for cons, first, you don't get a headphone jack on this phone. Like, phones at 20,000 should have an headphone jack. Xiaomi wanted to make this phone really slim, so they just threw away the headphone jack out of the window. Second, the most important concern with this phone is MIUI. There are a lot of bugs in most of the Xiaomi phones. Like you see here, while using the normal gestures on the phone just gets stuck randomly, and sometimes the gesture also feels choppy and even don't work. But the most important thing is Xiaomi is now releasing a 5G variant of Mi 11 Lite, which could be Mi 11T or something like that, which makes me put in the you know it, I know it tier. But now that I think of it, if you want a good looking one-handed phone which has an okay camera, it does the job, so yes, move it to did the job tier. Now, if you've already used a Xiaomi phone and you don't want MIUI, well, that brings to the second phone, the iQOO Z3. Now, this phone is very underrated. It has one of the latest processor, charging, and a good camera in this segment. First pro is definitely the processor. You get the latest Snapdragon 768G. It has 5-layer graphite cooling system, which does help if you play for more than 1 to 2 hours. To add to all of it, you get 55-watt charging. The charger is supplied in the box. Also, unlike the Mi 11 Lite, this is a 5G phone. You get only 2 bands with it, N77, N78. Not a big deal, but a 5G phone nonetheless. So it won't be replaced soon. Now, to start with cons, it comes with FunTouch OS 11, which is not as buggy as MIUI, but there are ads here and there in the system. Also, the V App Store sends a lot of notification. It's annoying and of course you can disable it, but it should not have been there in the first place. The second thing with this phone is the 120Hz LCD display. Now, more than the LCD, the thing is a teardrop notch display. Like, the bezels look a bit more 2019 than 2021, but this is just me nitpicking. iPhones and Pixels have the same notch still, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal once you get used to it. Hence, it has good performance, camera and charging, so it does good in most of the areas, and it's also quite popular on Amazon, so people seems to like it too. Hence, send it to the very solid tier. So, recommended if you don't care about LCD. Now, if you're around that 20,000 price, you will also be tempted by the OnePlus Nord CE. It starts at 23,000, but here's the deal. The 23,000 variant is only available in OnePlus official site, and it's only available in black color. So consider this phone to be 25,000. So to start with pros, first up, of course, clean, ad-free Oxygen OS experience. Yes, it's still Oxygen OS, unlike Color OS in Nord 2, and no ads or bloat is a big pro in my books. And also you get a 90Hz AMOLED display, and it supports HDR10 on Netflix. Quite rare in this segment, so that's a pro. And a small pro is 4CA carrier aggregation. Generally, you don't see 4CA carrier aggregation in this range. Now, if you don't know, in simple words, all these phones support carrier aggregation or 4G+, but the Nord CE will give you better speeds and network coverage with the same SIM at the same place compared to all the other phones. I've done an entire video here. You can watch it and have a better understanding, of course, after this video. Now, for the cons, I personally don't recommend Nord CE. Two reasons. First, the camera is not that good. Most human portraits and selfies turn out unnatural with weird colors. Second, the Oxygen OS on this phone lags. It's not optimized for this processor or this phone, to be precise. Day-to-day tasks like turning on dark mode, opening the camera, using Google Assistant, everything feels slow and laggy. But overall, the Nord CE is not the best choice at 25,000 price, and it's the first phone to make it to the you know it, I know it tier. There you go. We have a contender. But what if I need a clean stock Android experience? What do I do if I don't buy Nord CE? Well, you buy Moto H20 Fusion. The biggest pro is software experience, no bloat, no ads, plus it performs. It's not like it lags or the UI gets stuck. Also, Motorola is promising 2 years of Android updates, which a lot of phones in this range don't offer. It has a 90Hz 1080p OLED display. Motorola usually uses LCD displays, but this time they used the superior 10-bit AMOLED display, just like the Mi 11 Lite. Now, unlike iQOO and OnePlus, which only fast charge with their own charger, the Moto H20 Fusion can fast charge with any 30-watt PD charger. Plus, you get a 30-watt PD charger in the box, so you can fast charge your MacBook, Chromebook, or other Xiaomi Samsung phones in your house. Win-win. And the most exciting feature of Moto Edge phones is ready for PC. See, both the Edge phones you can connect via USB to your laptop and use your phone as a PC. It lets you access your photos, videos, mobile documents right here on your PC, and even play games with your keyboard and mouse. And the expensive Moto H20 also lets you connect wirelessly to a TV. So even if there's no internet, you can watch downloaded movies or Netflix series on your phone directly on the bigger screen seamlessly. Now, for the cons, I would say overall the camera isn't the best. You do get a very good 8-megapixel macro camera that also doubles up as a wide-angle camera, but the HDR and selfies aren't that great. Same as Nord CE, I would say it's average. So the Motorola H20 is good in terms of software, processor, charging, display. It does good in some areas, so a very solid tier with the iQOO Z3. Moving on, if you're a heavy gamer, this heavy phone, quite literally, is for you, the Poco X3 Pro. The biggest pro is processor. I can clearly say that this is one of the fastest phones in this price. You get a Snapdragon 860, which is a flagship processor. It's a really powerful chipset. You can play BGMI at 60 FPS. My favorite game, Genshin Impact, also runs stable at high graphics 60 FPS. So this is a complete gaming phone at 20,000. You also get a huge 5160 mAh battery. But the cons are a lot. Now, similar to any Xiaomi phone, the major concern is MIUI, same bugs. Also, the camera on the Poco X3 Pro is not as good as Redmi Note 10 Pro Max or Mi 11 Lite. Plus, if you want a lightweight phone or one-handed phone, this is not for you. It weighs really heavy at 200 plus grams. If you want a lightweight gaming phone, I'll recommend iQOO Z3 over it. All in all, it games really well, but everything else is just average, so kind of does the job. It goes to did the job tier. Now finally, the best launch of 2021, Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. You can guess the tier, come on. Now before we get to the phone, the most value for money phone was Redmi Note 10 Pro. This is Pro Max. Xiaomi increased the price of the Pro 2 times or 3 times, and now it costs somewhere around 18,500 or 19,000. Not a very good practice, and as per Xiaomi, due to material shortage, you can expect more price hike on all their phones and TVs. So while I'm talking, you get the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max and 20,000 for the 6GB 128GB variant. It might change, who knows? The world is very chaotic. Now the phone has a really good 120Hz AMOLED display. The display is something you wouldn't see in this segment. To complement that, Xiaomi also provides a really good pair of stereo speakers. There's one more pro about the phone. The 108 megapixel camera on this phone is also a strong point. In case you guys don't know, the camera rating agency DxOMark rated the Redmi Note 10 Pro Max camera better than iPhone SE and XR. Wow. Kaushal, how do you feel about it?
I never told my name.
iPhone fanboys, you know. But this DxOMark rating gives you extra point for having wide angle cameras, macro cameras. So that's why they score high. But in practical life, it has a slightly better camera than Mi 11 Lite, especially the selfie camera. And now for the cons again. I feel like an echo box. The major concern with this device is MIUI. That's there. Having said that, I'll recommend this phone if MIUI doesn't bother you. Should you buy the Mi 11 Lite or Redmi Note 10 Pro Max? The answer is clear. See, if you play games on your phone occasionally, like 1 to 2 hours for refreshing your mind, get Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. It has a headphone jack and bigger battery. And Xiaomi isn't refreshing it anytime soon with a 5G variant. Like, come on. Redmi Note 10T 5G. It's a T variant, it's not Pro, it's not good. So it's an easy recommendation for under 20k and straight up to the GOAT tier. First one and going to stay until the next phone. Now this tier is my opinion, and for you, Moto H20 Fusion can be GOAT one step up from where I've put it. So adjust as per your preference. Now to summarize, if you want an all-in-one phone, then I would recommend Redmi Note 10 Pro Max. Good camera, good build, gaming performance and display. Now for the best software experience, hands down, we have the Moto H20 Fusion. I like saying it that way. The Mi 11 Lite is kind of an enthusiast phone. So if you want to try the 10-bit display and slim one-handed phone, you can try the Mi 11 Lite. Same, if you want a powerful gaming phone for BGMI, BugMe or PUBG and game streaming only, then the Poco X3 Pro is the deal. And don't buy the you know it, I know it tier, it's just there, please. So hope your doubts are clear, and in return, I get a like on this video. Yeah, let me know your tiers, super excited, I really want to see it. Share the video to make more people wiser. Anyways, this is Pratik signing off, see you soon.